I am Darrell Tolbert.
And we're back right here on the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. And, of course, I apologize for that inconvenience, but now we are going to dive right back in. I know time is of the essence, but we have him back. Mr. Dr. Darrell Tolbert is here. And, of course, man, I want you to continue, man. This is exciting. And before I do that, let me thank God for Vic Walters over at Comcast Cable here in the Chicagoland area. Vic, I thank you, man. I know you were excited to hear this, and he has made a decision. He is actually simulcasting this broadcast right now, so you are being heard and seen in over 1.7 million homes also, man. So I want to congratulate you for that. And Vic, thank you so much, man. I appreciate your, spontaneous move here. Let's get back. Dr. Darrell Tolbert is here, man. Continue to tell us a little bit about this current publication, man, because I know it had to be a powerful experience for you. Okay, I'm not getting your audio right now. I'm not hearing you, and I want to, I'm not hearing you. Are you okay? Are you there? So for some reason, I am not getting Dr. Darrell Tolbert's audio, and that's kind of strange. But I have him here. I have him live, and I'm trying to figure out what the situation is. Vic, hold on one second. I know for a fact that we can get this squared away in just a few moments here. Dr. Darrell Tolbert is here, and I'm trying to figure out why we are not receiving his audio feed. We were just receiving it just fine just a few moments ago. Dr. Darrell Tolbert is here, and I'm just concerned because, like I said, I do not want to miss any of this conversation, and if it takes you going out and coming back in, that's fine, but I'm not receiving your audio feed right now, and I don't know why. Let me see here. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead. I'm going to just basically give you another password. I'm going to play your promo one more time and see if we can pull you back in because I am not receiving your audio feed, okay?
I am Darrell Tolbert, author.
Shootings across north central Florida in the past week have many people concerned, and some people are taking
Motivational speaker.
It happened at this home in Ocala 32 years ago.
My cousin's house was a family house. In the hood, they don't have family house. Everybody hang out. You have the older people playing cards, spades, and the kids running around.
Says on that fateful night, he was visiting his cousin Telva before a date at the movie theater. But as he was about to leave, he heard his cousin scream.
Y'all, Darrell, help. He's around here, beat her up.
He went around to help her, and as they came around to the front of the house, he saw a person with a gun.
Darrell, help. He's around here, beat her up.
He went around to help her, and as they came around to the front of the house, he saw a person with a gun.
I hear them shots, and the bullets are coming so close.
Author of 7 published books. Why am I in prison? The pain and grief of losing a pet. The woman at the well. Raiders of the tomb. Until God's purpose was accomplished. Out of the ear came forth weed. And now, my newest book, which was just published, I forgave 2 men I vowed.
That night, Telva was shot and killed. She was 18 years old and left behind a son and a daughter.
I am Darrell Tolbert.
I'm not going to miss this opportunity to have Dr. Darrell Tolbert on the line. So I'm going to pick up the phone because I, for some reason, am not receiving his audio, but I can always overcome that with a simple phone call. So Dr. Darrell Tolbert, answer your phone, man. Answer your phone. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear. God bless you, man. God bless you. And, of course, man, I'm going to move right back in because I have no idea, but we're going to, refresh and come back to the opportunity to have you on the line visually. But right now, I did not want to disappoint anybody by not having you here. So with that being said, Dr. Darrell Tolbert, I want you to continue, man. I want you to continue to break this thing down, man, and tell us about the publication that you currently have out. And we want to hear the details, man. Go ahead. It's all on you.
As I was stating earlier, I don't know how much you all heard. So you want me to start back at the beginning?
Absolutely, man. Start from scratch, man. Let us hear you.
Okay. I'm an author of 7 published books. This is my 7th one here. I'm excited about this book. This is more of an autobiography. Everything inside this book is real. It's based upon a dark era in my life after graduating from high school. I was a great athlete, sports. I had like 16 trophies, baseball, football, basketball. I went to the military. I wanted to be a police officer, used the military as a stepping stone in order to get into the police department. I received an honorable discharge, came home in 1999. When I got here, crack cocaine was everywhere. It wasn't around when I left, and people was all on crack. I didn't even know what crack was, and people was all on crack. My family, majority of my family was selling crack, cousins, brothers, and ended up going to the police department, and that didn't work out. Hanging out, and association brings on assimilation. I eventually became the thing that I was against, which is crime. I became a drug dealer. And the book is based upon 2 scenes or 2 episodes or situations in my life. One of them is when I was a drug dealer, I befriended this guy who was on drugs, and we developed a friendship. So he wasn't just a customer; he was a friend of mine. He was the only person that I would trust inside my house. Nobody else came in my house. You know how that go.
Yeah.
Business outside, but he had won my trust. He's been in my house, held my kids, and the task force was trying to get me. I knew they was trying to get me, and they had surveillance, and he ended up getting in trouble, but they had him on surveillance, so they knew that he can get in my house. And of course, you know how that go.
Yeah,
you know, once he get in trouble, well, he ended up sending me up testifying against me, and that's all the details. I go into that, and I say this years later after I get saved, you know, because I'm not going to tell out the whole book. And the most crucial situation in the book is while I'm selling drugs, I used to talk to this girl, and I had stopped dealing with her maybe 6 months. And a guy got out of jail. He ended up talking to her. And I came by a family gathering, because in our city, you know, most cities, hoods, you got the family, the big mama house, the family gathering. So my cousin Miran, that's where it was. We sold drugs out there in the road, and that's where the family gathered. The older folks played spades, drank beer, kids ran around the yard, you know. And I came through there because I was going to the movie. I came through there because that was the family gathering, see all my cousins and see exactly what's going on. And end up talking with Mayran and Telva. That's my cousin. When I first come up to say, hey, you know, Corey beat up Mercedes. That's the girl that's in question there that I used to talk to. So I went to my mom's house, and me and my mom was talking. And I always look at that situation, because that could have been the last time I talked to my mom. You know, my mom would have said, you know, he was just over here talking to me, and now he's dead. And when I finished talking to my mom, I was supposed to go to the movies, but I had a little bit of time to kill. And to this day, I used to question that if I would have went to the movies without going back over there, then the situation would never have happened. So I always, question myself, blame myself. When I get over there, though, I go in the house, and Mercedes is in there, the girl, and my cousin Teva comes in and say, hey, Mercedes, your mom is out here, and Corey is out here with her, which is a boyfriend. And I walked out the house and said, hey, I'll see y'all later. I'm going to the movies. And when I got to my car, I had a Z28 in, and I had my guns up under my seat. I can let my bike seat down. I put my guns under there, and I had speakers sit on the top of it. So the police pulled me. They wasn't going to bother me because it was speakers under there. And I was about to get into the car, and this is another situation that used to haunt me for the last 33 years. I hear her saying, Darrell, come and help Corey around, and he's beating her up. So I was going to get one of the pistols out. I reached up the seat to get a pistol. Then I thought to myself, I don't need this pistol. I can whoop this dude here with my bare hands, And but then again, I questioned that, that I should have, because I didn't know that he was on. I figured he may be, but I didn't know. As I was going around the house on the right side, he had to be coming around on the left side, because when I get in the back, I don't see him. I see the girl on the dirt right there crying, and my cousin helping her up. We get up, and instantly I become angry, because I don't like men who beat women. Right. Then on top of that, I used to be involved with it too. So, of course, now I say, I'm going to go out here and kick his butt. I ain't say butt, you know what I said. Yeah. I'm saved now, so I can't say that. But anyway, we go in through the back door, and we go out to the front, stand on the porch. Kevin's right beside me. He's coming around my car, but I remember seeing him with a gun a couple of weeks previous. So, of course, I need to look at his hand, and I see the gun is in his hand. And the only thing he asked this question, that was the only thing he said, what? And he used the word F nigga, she with you now. And and it was like slow motion from then on. I see the hand coming up, and gunshots begin to ring out, and those bullets was coming so close to my head. I could hear them whistling. They was whistling as they was flying past me, and I'm trying to get into the door, and somebody opened the door. At the time, I didn't know. I knew somebody opened the door, but I heard the bullet. One bullet hit that person. It went boom. Wow. It made a third sound, boom, and head got hit, but I knocked her down my forearm and I flipped over her, and I jumped up and I jumped across the fence and ran to my mom's house, who stayed like 2 blocks. And she said, "What's going on? I heard gunshots." And I said, "Well, Cora over there trying to kill me." And my brother comes up. I say, "Hey, you got any heat?" For people who don't know what heat means, that's a gun. Yeah. You know, I'm talking slang, but I said, "Yeah, have any heat?" He said, "No." So we was trying to get a gun, and we hear the ambulance. I said, "I told you, man, somebody probably got shot over there." And we went there, and I see my cousin Teva laying in the dirt, the blood all over. And when they put on the gurney, the stretcher, her arm just flopped. They try to say, "Oh, she's dead." And they're like, "She's not dead." That's yes, she is. Because every time they put her hands up, they just flop back on. So they eventually tied. And the pictures in the back of the book, I have pictures of that night. See her, all of that, pictures of the whole night, police, everything there. And it was then at that time, you know, I vowed I was going to kill him. I said, "I'm going to kill you." And we went to the hospital. Everybody, I mean, Ocala was in an uproar. Everybody knew about this, and I went to the hospital. I'll never forget, the woman came out saying, you know, "For all those who would tell the burden, hate to inform you that she has expired." But she was dead. She was dead there, though. I knew she was dead when they took her there. And so I vowed to kill this guy, and I actually did try to kill him. I ended up shooting at him later, which I'm not going to get into all the details, but because I don't want to tell out the book. But I ended up going to prison, you know, raised up in church my whole life, didn't know God. And so many people like that, you know, you go to church, but you don't know God. You know, he's something up there in the air, but in prison, the lights came on. The Bible made sense. Relationship with God began to flourish. I was introduced to the Holy Ghost. And now I have a transformation that's real. Been out of prison now 25 years. So people talk about jailhouse religion where it's real. You just take it out the jailhouse with you. You'll be all right. You know, don't leave it. So I never had any idea that I was going to write this book. It was always something after I wrote my other 6 books. It was something that was in my mind to write. I started recording because I want to make a movie. So I started recording segments, doing interviews with her mom about that night, her sister, but the book wasn't in my mind. I just want to do a documentary. That's what I was trying to do. So one day I said, "You know what, let me just make a book out of this right here, and then I'll spin the documentary off of the book." So it took me a while. I put the book together. The book switched between the 2 scenes, but years later, I ended up meeting up with both of these people, and I'm not going to tell. After that, you got to read the book, and you'll see what. You know, I don't want to spoil it for the people. So read the book, and then you'll see what happened when years later I'm a changed man, and I meet up with the 2 men I vowed to kill.
Wow! I tell you, I forgave the 2 men I vowed to kill. We want you to be sure to go out, show your love, care, concern, and support to Dr. Darrell Tolbert. And, of course, I'm encouraging you to pick up a copy. I'm encouraging you to share it with all your followers, family, your friends. I mean, everyone you can think of. True. And I mean, hey, let's face it. You share everything else on Facebook. Why not share this? You know, so I forgave the 2 men I vowed. And you know what, Darrell? I'm finding out that you and I, we have so much in common. It is unbelievable. And we're gonna get in more detail about that as time goes forth. Again, Vic over at Comcast. Vic, thank you, man, for your patience, man. I appreciate it. He says things are coming across very, very well now. I do have a picture of you up on the screen as well as a copy of your publication. And of course, I'm gonna be going over and beyond my call to invite you back, soon and very soon, because I want to be able to break all of your books down. Also, your ministry that currently airs here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. We want to encourage you to tune in for that every Sunday. Tomorrow, And of course, you're talking about receiving a word. You are going to get a word from God through this outstanding young man. And of course, we are preparing to launch his podcast here on GMAP as well. You know what? I know that, this conversation is kind of spontaneous. We're talking about the book. But, what should people expect when they have a chance to tune in to your ministry on Sundays and then your podcast? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, when it comes to the ministry, I'm an illumination teacher, which means that I have the gift by the Holy Ghost that I make the Bible make sense. I go in and I pull out a lot of hidden things. A lot of my books are filled with these hidden things because I asked the five whys: who, what, when, where, and why. So the Bible, if you ask those questions when approaching the Bible, you get a whole lot of answers. I'm not a traditional pastor. I'm non-denomination. My goal is to make the Bible make sense for you. Yeah. I mean, if you can't receive it, then you can't grow what you can't receive.
Right.
So, like a baby, if I can't cut the meat up for the baby, then the baby can't eat it. That's so right. My job is to cut it up. So that's what I do. You can catch a lot of my stuff on YouTube. But when it comes to the podcast, the series that we're dealing with now is unforgiveness. It was strategically launched at the timing of the book. That was a strategy call. But I realized that so many people, even Christians, they're saved, but yet they're still struggling to forgive somebody. I was saved. I was a pastor. I was being used by God in the Mighty Way street ministry, going into the prisons, writing books. But I still had that hatred towards that guy who had killed my cousin. I had not forgiven him. It was 33 years. I'm still holding on to this hatred. So the whole purpose of the podcast is deal with more subjects, but right now we're going to focus on unforgiveness, and eventually we'll get into marriage because I am a pre-marriage counselor, certified pre-marriage counselor, and a marriage counselor. I'm writing a book right now. It's called a marriage book, The Struggle of Two Becoming One. Because if you are married, then there's a struggle of two becoming one.
Let me tell you this, man, and I'm so grateful for you today. I know time is of the essence, so I know we're going to be inviting you back, but so many things, man. You just can't imagine. Jail. That's where my ministry actually started. Non-denominational ministry, not traditional ministry. And I tell you, I forgave the two men I vowed to kill. Exact same situation I had to experience, and I'm going to be talking with you on one of your podcast programs about my experience. But all of this, I'm saying all that to say this: we have went through the storm, and it seems like we went through it together, because everything that you have mentioned here today and experienced, I have too, even down to marriage. I mean, they didn't expect my wife and I to be married 15 minutes. They said if we could get married and divorced within the hour, that would be us. It would be like, marriage and divorce. It would have Pastor Kevin and my lovely wife Tanika as the definition. I tell you, man, it's unbelievable, and I am grateful to God today. We are celebrating 20 years of marriage.
Wow, awesome.
And to God be the glory. Hey, I want you to know something. I'm getting ready to start my first publication, and it is going to be my only publication, and I have never even imagined asking someone to join me in this process, to be assistant author, co-author, whatever. Co-author. But I want to reach out to you here publicly, and I want you to be that individual that comes in and join me. It is going to be titled, with no exceptions, Confessions of a pastor, the Kevin T. Stroughter story.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I am going to keep it real, tell the truth, break it down, and share, because people need to understand we weren't always saved.
Amen.
People need to understand that this world and this flesh is real. We experience the same thing. You know what? Pastors can't save you. Okay? I say it again. A pastor can't save you. We have to be led by the Spirit to encourage you to seek the one who can. And man,
Amen.
I'm going to be inviting you in. And I want you, before you go, man, I know time is of the essence. You got another program that you have to do, but
10 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to break that down, man. And we're going to be inviting you back so we don't be pressed for time. But, once again, you can pick up the copies of the publication. And again, I tell you, I forgave the 2 men I vowed to kill. Pick up that as well as others. As a matter of fact, all of the publications are on the GMAP Broadcast Network in our featured authors area. Stop by gmap1.com, click on featured authors, and you will see a copy of not just the publication I'm showing you on our screen, I forgave the 2 men I vowed to kill, but also the other publications that he has released for your convenience. I want you to get a copy, share it, and once you do, I want you to be sure to go back and leave a review. We need to know how you feel, what you think, what you suggest, recommend to, Darrell and myself, as well as other individuals. Before I let you go, Darrell, I want you to make sure, give us your contact information. Tell us when and we can reach out to you, how we can connect with you so we can get more in detail. But again, I'll be inviting you back because I know time was of the essence, but I did not want to move forward without having an opportunity to speak with you today. So share with us, if you don't mind, the information where you can be reached and contacted.
You can follow me on Facebook, but my friend request is I'm booked. I can't take any more friend requests, or I have to delete some people.
Well, you know what they say, man. You know what they say, Darrell. We got 5,000 friends, but we probably don't know 4,000 of them.
Right. So what you can do, you can follow me, but if I see the request, you can follow me even if you're not on the friend list. My author page called The Portal to the Hidden. That's an author's page that deals with my books. That's all I do on that page. I don't talk about nothing but books. I give tips too. If you want to become an author, I'm gonna be giving tips, because after writing 7 books, I've dealt with these publishers and I've seen some stuff. I know how they take advantage of people and everything, and I can save you a lot of money and heartache by telling you what to watch out against. Also, my sermons are aired. Well, he aired my sermons, but every Saturday. If you go to TikTok, it's V1 Rotate Elevate. That's my name on TikTok. But if you want to call me, 352-361-8473. I do marriage seminars. I do women empowerment. I have a lot of women empowered. Most of my empowerment are women empowerment. And people ask, how could you as a man empower a woman? I tell them all the time, before a woman empowered a man empowered the woman. Yeah. Adam didn't come from Eve. Eve came from Adam.
That's right.
Adam empowered Eve. Told her what God had said. So that's how I'm able to empower you, because you came from me.
Right.
So I do seminars. I'm a motivational speaker. V1 Rotate Elevate. I speak to high schools, middle schools, colleges. Just speaking at university a couple of days ago. So if you have anybody you want to bring me as a motivation speaker, I do that. I own Cushape Financial Services. So when it comes to finances, I can help you out with that also. Sell life insurance and those things. So these are some of the things that I do. And I thank you for inviting me in.
Amen.
And because, like I said, it's 10 minutes before I jump into my podcast and interview somebody.
Well, just repeat that number for me one more time, if you don't mind. 352-361-8473. You can email me at the letter LJIST
at AOL.com. That's Eljair. I mean, the Lord will provide. So that's LJIREH at AOL.com.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, man, and we're going to have you back next week. We're going to work out the details so we don't be pressed for time. We want to make sure that the viewers around the world get the opportunity to hear in detail without being rushed in any way, form, or fashion. But I appreciate your time today. And again, Vic, over at Comcast. Vic, I thank you, man, for your patience in doing what you're doing. And, of course, we're going to have Dr. Darrell Tolbert here again with us next week. So stay tuned. Check out the schedule. And, again, stop by our broadcast network site, GMAP1.com. Click on the tab that is simply titled Featured Authors. You'll see a copy of the publication. And, of course, you click on that publication, it'll take you to the necessary location for all the intimate information and details about the publications as well as the author. Darrell, man, I appreciate you once again, man. I'll be in touch with you soon. I know you got to, get yourself prepared. And I want you to continue to be blessed and be a blessing. I'll reach out to you so we can go ahead and get things worked out for next week, okay?
Yes, sir. All right. Talk to you later.
All right. God bless you, man. Take care.
All right,
Dr. Darrell Tolbert here on the GMAP Broadcast Network.
I am Darrell Tolbert, author.
Shootings across north central Florida in the past week have many people concerned, and some people are taking
Motivational speaker.
It happened at this home in Ocala 32 years ago.
My cousin's house was the family house. In the hood, they don't have family house. Everybody hang out. You have the older people playing cards, spades, and the kids running around.
Says on that fateful night, he was visiting his cousin Telva before a date at the movie theater. But as he was about to leave, he heard his cousin scream.
Darrell, help. He's around here, beat her up.
He went around to help her, and as they came around to the front of the house, he saw a person with a gun.
Darrell, help. He's around here, beat her up.
He went around to help her, and as they came around to the front of the house, he saw a person with a gun.
I hear them shots. And the bullets are coming so close.
Author of 7 published books. Why am I in prison? The pain and grief of losing a pet. The woman at the well. Raiders of the tomb. Until God's purpose was accomplished. Out of the ear came forth grief. And now, a newest book, which was just published. I forgave 2 men. I vowed.
That night, Telva was shot and killed. She was 18 years old and left behind a son and a daughter.
I am Darrell Tolbert.